Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Earlier today in the Purify Your Gaze community, we got to spend a blessed hour with Ustadh Hakim Archuletta, alhamdulillah, on a discussion that revolved around recovering your true self. And for such a beautiful process, what was interesting to note is that much of the talk ended up being about the pain and the difficulty of that process. So for anybody who's on that journey, I'm going to be sending you, inshallah, 4 positive thoughts. Number 1, if you find yourself in a place where you are feeling some discomfort with a part of your life, you feel like you have a problem and you experience difficulty because of that, that in and of itself is something worthy of saying alhamdulillah for, because you have a self that wants to return to its truth, and you won't be happy until you get there, and that's not the case for everybody in this world. And remember that that desire is the handhold to the sword of change. Number 2, our purity and innocence are not destroyed by the things that we do. In fact, those who go through the process recover their true selves. They find that their purity and innocence are not only intact, they're not only restored, but they are greater than they were before. So where you're going is somewhere great and somewhere worth going to. So keep that in mind along this journey. Number 3, where you're going is great. Think about a flower that's blooming. It's such an elaborate process. The result is beautiful. But remember that the flower, actually it must bloom, because anything else would be too difficult. The process of your recovery can feel challenging, but anything else would be too painful and too difficult. And while you're on that journey, number 4, make sure to take in the journey. Imagine that you're hiking in a desert towards a mountain, and you look towards that destination and it looks tiny, very far away. And then you hike for 3 hours and you're exhausted. And you look again and the mountain is exactly the same size. You can feel a little bit deflated in that sense. But all you have to do is turn around and look at all the distance that you've already traversed, right? And take that in. Even just notice the last 100 yards and make sure to take in that